Hi, welcome to a unique podcast by Awakenanda. Episode 11: The Math, the Science, and the Predictive Power of the 60-year Panchanga time cycle. To most Indians, well, at least the South Indians, Panchang or Panchangam is that little book which our parents bring home every Ugadi or Pongal with a lot of veneration. It is a Vedic almanac with lots of astronomical and astrological information for the new year, including predictions for the Indian zodiac signs, which are based on your birth star. For thousands of years, the Panchang has been serving as a guide for our civilization. It integrates lunar, solar, and stellar movements to structure time for us humans to help us identify the good and the bad times in the year ahead. The term Panchanga or Panchang refers to the Panchanga or the 5 limbs of time. The 5 limbs are Tithi, Vara, Nakshatra, Yoga, and Karana. What these 5 limbs mean will be discussed in a different episode of this podcast. But for now, let's focus on the 60-year cycle. The Panchanga calendar follows a 60-year cyclical system called Samvatsara, which repeats every 60 years. Why 60? Because 60 is the LCM, or the least common multiple of the planetary orbits of Jupiter and Saturn. Jupiter roughly takes around 12 years to go around the Sun, while Saturn takes 30 years. The LCM of 12 and 30 is 60. That's the math. Why only Jupiter and Saturn, you may wonder. In our solar system, those two are the largest planets. So due to their massive size, they also exert massive gravitational force, shielding Earth from potential asteroid collisions. That's the science. Jupiter and Saturn are also the slowest to go around the Sun. As Vedic astrology surmises that our lives are influenced by planets, the slowest planets would have long-term influence on human life. The influence of smaller and faster planets is short-lived. That's the metaphysics. Each of the 60 years of the Panchanga cycle has a unique name, the first being Prabhava and the last being Akshaya. Each of these 60 names has deep meaning and significance. For example, 2019-20 was called Panchanga Samvatsara. The word Vikari in Sanskrit means ugly. That's when COVID-19 hit us. 2020-21 was called Sarvari, which roughly means darkness. The Delta variant of the virus was raging. 2021-22 was called Plava, which roughly means afloat. Surely the world began recovering from the pandemic. 2022-23 was called Shubhakrita, which is good or auspicious. Life came back to normal. 2023-24 was called Shobhakrita, which is splendorous. The world regained hope and moved on. 2024-25 was called Krodhinama Samvatsara. Krodhi means angry. Wars began to rage. Ukraine, Russia, Israel, Hamas, Lebanon, Iran, US, Yemen, Saudi, and whatnot. For the record, the Mahabharata war began in Krodhinama Samvatsara. Jumping just a few years into the future, the years 2031-32 will be called Virodhakrita. The word Virodhakrita roughly means opposition creating. So are we heading into a polarized world? The years 2035 and 36 will be called Rakshasanama Samvatsara, which means demonic. Does it mean we are heading into a polarized world followed soon by a demonic year? A cursory check into the past is the best way to determine to what degree the Panchanga year names have predictive value. Just like 2031-32, in the past, the years 1910-11 and 1971-72 were called Virodhakrita. 1910-11 was exactly when the Italo-Turkish Wars, the Balkan Wars, and the sinking of Titanic happened. 1971-72 was closer home with the Indo-Pak War. Similarly, like the year 2035-36, the years 1915-16 and 1975-76 were called Rakshasanama Samvatsara. 1915-16 was bang in the middle of the First World War, which lasted for over 4 years. 1975-76 was when the Lebanese Civil War and the Vietnam War broke out. Yet another intriguing aspect of the 60-year Panchanga cycle is that it is divided into 3 segments of 20 years each, belonging to Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, the lords of creation, sustenance, and destruction. Incidentally, the years named Virodhakrita and Rakshasa are allocated to Shiva, the destroyer. What the future holds, we may never certainly know. But our cyclic Panchanga calendar seems to indicate that the past is in the future and the future is in the past. If you liked what you just heard, please hit the follow button. I am Avikananda, just another average Bharatiya who finally woke up.